Good morning. I'm Slut Rooster. And I be having a little words in the morning that I'm going to start just throwing on this channel. Excuse me. A little backseat gospel, but I was like, I don't really like the word gospel. So, let's get 10 options. Um, Now me not spelling everything wrong this morning. I took a allergy pill because I don't even have allergies, but we all know the world is changing, and with that change, I seem to be having some kind of allergic reaction to something. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm a vegetarian, and so I'm always shocked when I have allergies because I'm a vegetarian. But when you're entering into a vegetarian lifestyle, you are now incorporating things that you've never eaten before. Where I used to do like a vegetable oil, a canola oil. Where now I'm like avocado oils, and I used to do olive oil, of course, too. It's still really good, but I'm trying to get away from like the cheaper brands, like the store branded olive oil, and get into a more expensive olive oil, which is not always nice for the budget. But this body, right? It's our temple, as some would say. So I'm trying to be okay with the expense up front versus the hospital bill in the back. So here we are. So I said, buenos noches, Guy. Time for a little backseat gospel. Another word for gospel gave me 10 options, right? So the 10 options we got: truth, message, scripture, doctrine, good news, testament, sacred talk, divine download, and revelation. I like divine download, but that feels like I would become one of those like grand rising people, and that's just not very authentic for me. So we're gonna hold off on that because I don't know the word. We will find it, and that's the beauty of me, is that branding always comes to me eventually, and I don't force anything. But what was on my mind, and it's been there for a minute, and I'm gonna be probably eating as we talk because I'm a little hungry and I got a little Mexican food from last night. So just a little backstory. I'm currently in Destin, Florida. I kind of ran away from Central Orlando. It was so hot. I was miserable. And I was like, I just got to go. Just got to get away. So now where I'm living, we're not living, we're staying, is I'm like maybe 5 minutes from the beach, 10. Walking distance probably 20, but like 5 minutes from the beach, which is nice. I didn't go to the beach this morning, but I will be going to the beach later today. Actually, let me set that reminder because I probably will forget. All right, I'm back. So let's get this on this right side. Okay, so let's talk about what's been on my mind, right? So I'm in Destin, trying to get to the beach more, and there's just been something on my mind, and I want to understand why. So there's a show. So there's a show called Fourth and One. I think it's like a podcast. I think it could be just a regular show, but I think it's a podcast with Cam Newton. Okay, it is a show. It's not a podcast. It's a show. Oh, it is a podcast. Are all shows podcasts? Because I would imagine no, but maybe all shows are podcasts. Okay, so let me ask. I want to know, because I know Fourth and One is a football term, right? You get 4 attempts, so many yards, right? You start at 1st and 10, and you get so many yards to make it to, you got to keep getting a 1st and 10 so that resets. And most times quarterbacks convert, and then sometimes they don't, and so they get to a 4th and 1. And then that to me has, like, when I've watched football, 4th and 1 in your mind, it's 1 yard, but because the other team has trained themselves to have a 4th and 1, I won't say play, but like we'll say strategy. Sometimes you think you could just kind of jump over to people and then you'll get your 4th and 1, or you could throw the ball. But I know a lot of quarterbacks 4th and 1, they try to just, jump over a little bit because that's an easier conversion than to step back into, 4th and 4 because he's got to go backwards to be able to lunge the ball and then risk getting sacked. Now, I'm not that great at football, so if I lost you there as a football person, my bad, because I watched it, but I don't know the terminology enough, which is sad. I've only been watching sports for feels like decades of my life. But from what I understand, even though the ball is at 4th and 1, the quarterback, once he receives the ball, he's got to walk backwards to be able to assess the field so that he can throw it, which, again, is the risk. So he usually is going to hand off the ball, and then the receiver is going to, try to just get that one little yard so that they can reset back to 1st and 10. So, in my mind, I'm like, there's a message in 4th and 1. Why did he choose that? But my mind immediately went to 4th and 20. Because that's when you got a lot of work to do, right? The ball's at 4 and 20, but you got to walk backwards, right? At least to 4. Now you're 2 yards back so that you can assess it. Not you, the quarterback, right? And I'm sorry, I'm going to clean this up once it's like, sometimes it's downloading as you're talking, so you're not able to kind of run with it yet because the concept is still slowly, coming to you. So he's got to get the ball at 4 and 22 because the quarterback is walking backwards so that he can assess the field and throw the ball, because he can't do that 1 yard because he's at 20. He's got to throw this ball, because if he just gives it to the guy on the side of him, that guy's going to probably get 3 yards, 4 yards maybe, and we need to convert to go 4th and 20. So let's see. So the literal football meaning, 4th and 1, means the 4th down and the team has 1 yard to go to either get a first down or a score. It's a make or break moment where the team must decide, play it safe or go for it. And so Cam Newton, from what I know, is a quarterback, which is probably why 4th and 1 feels so powerful to him, because he probably has his stats, and he may be one of the top quarterbacks that has converted on 4th and 1 to either get the touchdown or to reset and start at 1st and 10. So it reflects pressure, strategy, and decision making. So for Cam, it's likely represents speaking with urgency and intention, tackling topics that require boldness and precision, and showing up in moments that matter when the pressure is highest. Okay. So in my mind, I'm like, 4th and 20 is even bigger. Because if you can convert on 4th and 20, which very few can, it's very hard to, again, you got to not only throw the ball to the receiver, right? You got to scan the whole field. You hope your guys are back far enough so that when you do give them the ball, they're at 14, 15 yards ahead of you. They can't be at, the 7 yards, because that's too many yards to run. 13 yards, and these guys are the running backs and everybody, I don't know all the positions, but the running backs in the field, they're going to get this guy. As soon as he catches his ball, he may not get to run very far. So you got to throw it all the way back to damn near 17 yards so that he has a lot better odds of catching this so that it converts to 1st and 10. So in my mind, I'm like, 4th and 20 is where a lot of us are mentally in our life. We were not converting, we're 1st and 10. Now we're 2nd and 12, right? Maybe we're at 13 and 5. I'm saying this all wrong. Let me rewind, right? We started at 1st and 10. Now we're 2 and 13. And then we're 3rd and 5, right? Because we're coming back. We get that second play was great. We did really well. Now we're at 3rd and 5. And then we got sacked or something happened where we went backwards, and now we're at 4th and 20, right? Or maybe they lost the ball and then it recovered. Sometimes that happens. Or maybe it was an interception and then it was oh shit. So 4th and 20 is where I feel like I am in life. I feel like a lot of us are there. It's not a rock bottom, but it's wow, that conversion line where we get to go, 1st and 10, oh my gosh, is where a lot of us are. Let's see. So what are the stats? Let's ask. What are the stats on 4th and 1 conversions versus 4th and 20? And then let's see, what are Cam's stats with converting on 4th down? And I apologize for those of you who are actually watching this and watching me type horribly, because I am definitely hey. All right, I had to finish my food. So let's get these stats. 4th and 20 is even bigger. What's the stats on 4th and 1 conversion versus 4th and 20? And what are Cam's stats with converting on the 4th down? Because this is what I'm thinking. A lot of us are at 4th and 20. Some of us are at 4th and 1. And the differentiator, to me at least, 4th and 1 was like, how do I say? 4th and 1 is like, you're right there, right? You're seeing your dream life. You're like, oh my God, I know that new car is right there. It's like when you needed a better job with the pay being not only an increase, but all the perks of that company. And I mean like super perks. Like they give you guys free lunch every day. There's a gym on site. You get all these discounts or freeness and travel. And, you know, you get a stipend for education every year so you can go to conferences. So it's like you need both. Like you not only need your money to increase, but you need the annual perks of being with that company to also elevate. That to me is 4th and 1, where you're like, okay, I just need this one little thing, and I see it, and I know once I get and secure this new job with all these added perks and income, I can get my new car, I can go ahead and, you know, finish buying my new home, and, you know, it's like, and all the little things start to come together, and that's your domino, 4th and 1. 4th and 20, and the reason why I am aligning more with 4th and 20, because I'm already in the experience. Like I've already surpassed, you know, needing the income. I already have those things kind of aligned. But where the additional 19 yards come into play is because I have other things to clean up. If that makes any sense, right? Like when you're trying to, like, I've built all the things, right? They're all in play. But now this extra money that's here, right? I've already established that. That money has to now go out rapidly. Like, so I'm still in the, like, cleaning up what I did. So that's why, to me, I'm like, I'm at 4th and 20, because I still got stuff to clean up. I still got lawsuits to file against some people. Like, I still got, you know, to sweep my credit. I still have to talk to just certain people within my wealth building strategy so that I can make sure that I'm on the right path. Like, all of these things, I know my plan. But at 4th and 20, I'm like, damn, I still got a long way to convert this. And it doesn't mean it's impossible, but it does rely heavily on resources, right? Everything in my mind, everything in my body, everything in my soul. I got to have a plan where everything is aligning, right? I can't afford, like, if I was a mom, right? This is not the time for my kids to get sick. This is not the time for my kids to get kicked out of school because they were doing some stupid, right? Like, everything has to align so that my mind can focus on my strategy and my vision. So does that make sense? That's where we are, right? So we're converting. We did 1st and 10. We're at 2 and 13, 3 and 5, and then somehow we messed up, and now we're at 4th and 20. So let's look at stats for Cam. So it came back. 4th and 20 is a far more daunting challenge than 4th and 1. Let's delve into the statistics to understand. So 4th and 1 conversions is 65.7%. Hold on, my dog is needing stuff. All right, go lay down. All right, so 65.7%. And the teams often opt to run the ball in these scenarios with a 74% success rate on running compared to 57% on passing. So, I knew what I was talking about. Conversion. Okay, so 4th and 20 is often below 5%. Teams rarely attempt to convert in these situations, typically choosing to punt or attempt a long field goal. So this is the sauce, right? Are y'all getting why this is starting to make sense and why I'm sharing this with you? We have a fork in the road moment at 4th and 20. 4th and 1st, you're golden, right? Like the odds of you getting the job with the benefits, like even if you don't get the job that has the benefits, the fact that you're at least focusing on the increase. Having more money to do your life is important. That's the top goal. The sub goal is having a company pay for a little of the things that you know you're going to need as you're building your career, which is why I said like having the stipend, the annual stipend for conferences, and maybe they pay for a little schooling, right? Your life is still going to be great if you don't get those perks. Maybe you have to wait to the second job. But the most important thing is having that increase of income, right? And even if that's like an extra $10,000, $15,000 a year, that's super important. And so for those of you who are at 4th and 20, you're at the fork in the road. But you see your options. You're either going to punt this and have to wait to get back the ball, or, you hope there's an interception so you can start at 1st and 20, or you're going to have to attempt a very long field goal. This is where you are. And a lot of you are probably thinking, I should just punt. Now, punting does not necessarily mean in this life scenario that you are quitting or you are saying no, but sometimes within your heart, you know your gas tank. Sometimes you arrive at 4th and 20 and you're like, dang, I'm kind of on E. Like emotionally, physically, like I've carried this load from 1st and 10 and I don't have any more conversions. I don't think I can attempt even this long field goal. And you got to know where you are. There's a saying that I like to use with myself, and it's very simple. Let me turn this, the market's opening, so things are starting to get a little cracking. It's a very simple question to ask myself, and maybe you find this to be valuable for you. It's, is this what you want? Super easy. Because guess what? When you ask your mind a question, if you can start getting your mind to thinking questions versus like statements like, I can't do this, I ain't finna, it shouldn't have happened. If you can get your mind to say, is this what I want? You'd be amazed at how clear, I don't care what your sign is, I don't care what your human design makeup is. You ask yourself, is this what you want? You'd be amazed at how quickly the answer shows up for you. So this is your moment at 4th and 20. Is this what you want? Do you want to try to convert this and go for that long field goal? I said goal. Or do you want a moment to rest and punt? And there is no quit in either. Sometimes it is better to wait for the season and start at 1st and 10 and wait for that conversion to happen than it is to push through and have a crappy field. Like, have you seen those? Oh, this is his 1st attempt at 53 yards. It's like, bruh, do you know how difficult it is to kick a ball through that field goal at 50 plus yards? I don't know how long the field is, but I would imagine it's pretty long. So to have to go at least half the field, you man, one little, I mean like little, like if the ball doesn't come out and that guy can't get it on the ground real quick, right, with the little, so he can get his hand out the way, if he doesn't do that as quickly as possible, if he tilts the ball, if he loses, right, sometimes it comes out, I don't know the terminology, but sometimes they not spike it, sometimes they throw it out and the guy doesn't catch it so that he can set it up. Sometimes it's like, oh shit, and he gotta run, right? Like there's so many things in just trying to perfectly kick it. It's got to be standing up. It can't be tilted. This, and I wish I had both of my hands so I could kind of show you the visual of it. But there is a lot of precision in all of that. It's not only the hiker getting it to the guy who has to hold it with the one finger so that he's out the way. He's got to set that up so quickly and hope that in the moment there's not somebody that jumps on him and he's sacked or they get the ball back. And so maybe you don't have the endurance for a 50-yard plus kick. Maybe you don't. Again, you're not quitting. It's just saying, like, I may need a little rest. I may need to reset, recalibrate. We don't give ourselves enough rest. And I get it. Sometimes it does feel like it'll reduce momentum because you feel like, okay, but I got to the fourth down, like, But sometimes you just gotta, you gotta let your mind just chill and reset. Don't be afraid of the reset. Just in that moment, right? Just punt the ball. Now, for me, in this moment, I'm at 4th and 20. It has been a long road from 1st and 10. But I'm at 4th and 20. And for me, I am going to get the field goal. I'm going to try for the 50-yard. And I'm anticipating that field goal. I'm anticipating my 3 points being added to the board. And that no longer being one of those things. Now, have I done this before? In my life, I've been at 4th and 20 before. Right? If I think back to all the times where I was like, oh my God, this feels like the longest. This feels like I ain't never going to get out of this. This feels like the days are the nights and the nights are the days, right? But sitting here with you guys. And comment below. Where are you? Are you at 1st and 10 in your life? Are you converting? You keep getting back to 1st and 10. Are you getting closer to 1st and goal, right? Because you want to get those 6 points. Or are you at 13 and 15, 3 and 15? Are you at 2 and 17, right? Did you, the quarterback, get sacked? Did the team come and sack you and now you're down way more yards than you like to be? Where are you in your journey? Comment below. And if you like this kind of life analogy, let me know. I think I'm going to keep throwing these out at you because they help me. If nothing else, I'm helping myself. But I'm at 4th and 20, I will admit. And I am going to attempt this long field goal. I'm going to attempt it. I've had a little bit of rest last week. This week, I was a little bit of fog. I'm noticing I need a little bit more rest because my mind and body are, relentlessly in this competition against the game of life. And so I leave you guys with that. The conversion is extremely low, often below 5%. Let's see Cam. Let's see Cam's numbers because he was definitely one of the top quarterbacks. He had 15 4th and 1. He did 7 completions. Okay, 46%. Wow. So out of 121, he had 46 for a 43.8% for achieving first downs on 3rd and 4th down passing plays. That is great. It could have been 20. Who's the best quarterback? Let's ask. And I'll leave y'all. I don't want this to be a 96-minute video. Give me the same stats for those of you who are listening as a podcast. This is funny because it sucks. Give me the same stats for Tom Brady because he's definitely. I don't know who else is one of the tops. I guess I could have did not Eli Manning. What is the kid's name? Mahomes. Let's see. So he's 65%. What was Cam? 43? 46? So he's 65.7. And his conversion rate... Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, no. He's 59.5%. 91 out of 120... No. Attempts is 153. Wow. That is crazy. He's at 59. May you be the Tom Brady of your life and convert. On his third and fourth and one, he's 90%. He holds the record for the most conversions and the second highest conversion rate on quarterback sneaks since 2000. Wow. That is insane. May you be the Tom Brady of your life. May you convert. But ask yourself that question. Is this what you want? It's okay if you can't muster up the energy. It's okay to just sit there. Go, take a little break on the bench. Drink your Gatorade. Drink your water, right? Your Smart Water, whatever brand of water. Get a little massage real quick. It is better to know that you can't push through than to ruin this momentum based on ego. It is better to know, hey, let me get a little 5 minutes. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Some of us in this moment, we could be Michael Jordan. Remember he was sick? He had a food poisoning, and that boy performed like his life depended on, like profusely sweating. His body was not in alignment with his mind. His body was dragging. He was exhausted. He was no gas, right? Gassed out. It was gone. And that boy performed. And so I'm not asking you to be Michael, and I'm not asking you to be Tom, and I'm not even asking you to be Cam. But what I am asking you is to be honest with yourself. Where are you in this life of 1st and 10 to, 4th and 1 or 4th and 20? And is this what you want? Are you going for the conversion, or do you need rest? I appreciate you guys. Like and subscribe. I'm going to do more of these as they come to me. My channel is more about flowing with me versus it just content flying out. So, which is why if you watch this from the beginning, you're probably like, wow, we went from this type of therapy to now this. But this is also therapeutic because you got to know where you are, right? Are you converting or are you resting? And both are great. All right, I'll see y'all.